Hey everyone, welcome to the AWS Tech Bytes. I'm Krish. So today we'll be discussing about the AWS security groups. So it's a very common concept in AWS that we talk about the security groups. So a security group in AWS is a virtual firewall which basically controls the incoming and outgoing access to your EC2 instances and databases, etc. So to give an idea on this team, let's say for example, we have an instance here. This is my instance here, which is running on Amazon EC2. And when you launch an instance in the Amazon EC2, you are actually launching it inside a VPC. So you can basically assign a security group to this particular instance so that it acts as a virtual firewall. That means you can control the incoming and outgoing traffic to your instances with the help of this security groups. So there are certain things which we have to understand about this particular concept of security groups. So first of all, it's basically where you put something called as a allow rules. So let's say for example, you go to AWS console and when you take the security groups, it basically allows you to select the incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. That means that when you basically deploy an instance in Amazon EC2, you can basically filter what kind of traffic can come into your instance and what can basically go out of it. So don't confuse the concept of security group network ACL team. Network ACL is different and security group is different. We will discuss more about the network ACL in the upcoming lectures. So today we'll be just focusing on this security groups. And as we discussed before, the security groups basically don't allow you to specify a deny rule there. You can add only allow rules. And as we discussed, we can have a separate rule for an incoming traffic and an outgoing traffic. So we can basically filter the traffic based on protocols and port numbers. Like when the traffic is basically coming to an instance, we can filter based on the protocol, the port number, and the source IP range as well. And the next concept is that the security group is basically stateful. What do you mean by stateful team? So if you send a request from your instance, okay, let's say for example, I am trying to send a request from my instance to outside world. So when we have a instance requesting something to an outside world, the response traffic which is coming in following up the request is allowed to flow into the instance regardless of the incoming security group rule, and vice versa also. Like for example, let's say now I am connecting to my instance using SSH or HTTP or RDP or whatever it is. When I am connecting to a instance like this, so the same traffic can basically go out regardless of the outbound rule. Let's say for example, this is my instance. Now you can see here. So here what happens is team, let's say in the incoming traffic I have allowed HTTP, and in the outgoing traffic I have blocked everything. Means basically I don't allowed anything. So basically what happens team, when we try to access my instance through this particular inbound port number, I'll be able to return this traffic through the same request, and that is what we call as stateful in this case. And one more thing which we have to always keep in mind team, when we talk about the word called a security group, the security group is basically something which we attach to the network interface of the instance. So we have an instance, and for every instance we can have a by default network interface, and we can add actually more also if I want. And for the network interface I can attach the security group. And all the instances you're creating, like EC2 instances or RDS, whatever it is, all the instances you're creating must have one security group at least to connect. Okay, that's it. So that's about the short video on the security groups team. We'll discuss more about the next videos. Thank you so much. Bye.